Howdy, and welcome back to the Road to the Great Canadian Open Winter 2026. My name is Clarence, and this is my video series as you follow me as I paint up my Brotherhood Without Banners army 1 hour a day, 1 day at a time. The goal of this series is to hopefully inspire people to paint their armies, to show you what you can get done if you paint 1 hour a day, and just chip away at it. Painting an army is a large, daunting project. But how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. How do you paint an army? 1 hour at a time. So, again, I know that not everyone has the privilege of having time to paint, but I think you can always try to carve out for yourself 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, and make some progress. So let's get my progress. I am painting up my Brotherhood archers. Let's see where they're at and what's the next step.
So here's where we left off. So we last did the tedious snakebite leather over all the straps, and we're really just down to the last couple of details. It's really just the metal work, bit of the hair, the fletching here and there. I don't think I'm going to do little snippets. I think I'm just going to do each thing all together, and I'll let you know how long each step took when we get done. So 1 hour painting starts now. Let's go into the details, folks. Be back soon. And we're back, and we are done! Not just done our session, but actually done putting all the base coats on the models as well. So the metal was the longest part by far. The metal not only was around the tips of the arrows and all the vem braces, it's the buckles, man! These guys have so many buckles. So not only have belt buckles, but these two models in particular have boot buckles! Lots and lots of boot buckles, which I'm not going to bother zooming in on, but believe me, they're there. If you know, you know. So the middle took a long time, and then I went and spent maybe about, 10 minutes doing the red on the fletching, in the quiver, and onto the arrows. Maybe another 5 minutes for the little tree stump that was on the base of the boot here. And then I spent roughly 10 minutes applying washes. Black wash to the metals, Nuln Oil, and then brown wash for the red, and then for the different colors haired, I have a black haired guy here. He had a dark gray base, Eshin gray. I have an old man here. He had kind of a white, mostly with a little bit gray mixture with a black wash. The blonde was done with a bleach bone kind of color, with a Reichland, watered down Reichland shade wash. And then the redhead was a mixture of the Feast on Red with a dark brown. I think it was dried bark with a brown wash afterwards. So the point is, we're done. Archers are base coated down. So we're done for the day, folks. Tomorrow we'll be doing the oil wash. And I bought actually some makeup sponges to try and do the oil wash a bit differently, which we'll discuss tomorrow. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. And we have some bonus content for you. The second battle report. Let's go check it out.
Welcome back, folks. We are at X Planet Games for another game with the Brotherhood Without Banners. I'm playing my buddy Jay. So we are playing against Martells in Dark Wings, Dark Words. Even though it's not a tournament scenario, we were too lazy to redraw it from the stat site. So we're playing Dark Wings, Dark Words. Over here, we've got a pretty mean list. We've got Sand Skirmishers with the High Hermit Sentinel and Outflank guy.
Outflank guy.
I can't remember his name. We got the Commander Oberyn in Blackguard, a very tough brick with poison. We've got the Spearlord Captain for Boldness and Courage on the Skyreach Bowman. And then here we got Harmon Uller with Edwin, or Edric, so the heal lots, in other words, in more skirmishers. And in my side, we've got Hot Pie in Gold Gun Crosswoman. We've got Sworn Knights with Fortune Seeker, the Man Legend Derek Dondarian in the middle with Kingsman. And we've got Angui with Archers. Ignore that model, Angui's on my painting table somewhere. In the middle of the table, we have 2 Werewoods and Palisades. I love Palisades, but I do feel like his superior movement, because of Cunning Ploy and Shenanigans, will benefit him more than me. So I put down Werewoods to just have an open field to charge over. He put down Palisades to do some trickery, which I love. We got some spicy cards for our opening active cards here. We've got Avitate Tactics board, give up a point. Take Sword Envelope, give a point. Normally you can cycle these cards out by taking NCU zones, but we're being heavily punished, and they only cycle out in round 3. So rounds 1 and 2 should be very, very quick, or we'll see. And then we'll go to the rest as it comes. So on to round 1. Alrighty, it is the end of round 1. So because of the tactics blockage from the cards, we only activate on the table past the NCUs. My stuff, so the Horseman came up here, blew up the Palisade. He cunning ployed with those guys to push up the archers, so then my guys marched up in response to take the objective round 2, potentially. And then these guys pushed forward, I stayed outside of 14, and in the middle we have a bit of tension here. The archers are in a position to support. Oberyn can take the middle. Oberyn's very dangerous because he's got the Manticore poison, which means it prevents healing. So one unit, if it lands, is just not going to heal. He can charge me on a 6. I had to come up this close so that I can automatically charge the middle if he was to take the middle. So it is 0-0. Here's our current position. On to round 2. All right, end of round 2, and so much has happened. So boring stuff. Crossbows came over here, grabbed the objective. Shooting support kind of just moved around a little bit. And then NCUs mostly pass. You'll notice that NCUs are on the table. What it came down to was they performed their combo. So I moved up and I shot. I killed 3, but because of all the healing he has, he healed 2 back. He then did his combo and shot me, killed 6. Beric then sentineled towards them and needed a 2+ charge. I rolled a 1, unfortunately, and that let Oberyn flank me, put on the poison, and deal a bunch of damage. The Knights had a real dilemma. The Knights had to either push towards the middle or come around to support. Honestly, the idea of attacking the skirmishers is not great because they have so much healing. With a 4+ save, they're kind of tough. They're not easy to kill. And then coming here was also not great because he's got all this shooting support to just grind down the Knights. At the end of the day, I realized I'm going to lose Beric, so I'm going to be down. The only way I can claw back, I think, is by collapsing the flank over here. So the Knights decided to come. Jay then said, fine, I want that point, and he put on Peter, used his token to count as the horse, which led him back up onto the objective, but then that gave me the freedom to take the horse and back Beric out. So Beric is actually available to maybe assault orders into combat at the start of the round, because there's going to be round 3 and I'll be going first. So it's 2-1 for the moment, and off to round 3. Alright, we're at the end of round 3. What happened that round? So I charged Beric in, did a lot of damage, but again, because the combination of Harmon and Edwin provides a lot of healing, he did take the crown, so he healed essentially 3 wounds just for kind of free. But I did play Regroup and Reform to swap Beric out. Now, I don't know if that was a completely legal move because this unit can't heal, and I did exchange attachments.
I don't think it's a heal.
It doesn't feel like a heal, so not really sure, but we let it go. Jay then swapped one of the objectives that the middle was worth 3, 2, and then 1 for being an objective. He had skirmishers in play, so I just bolted towards the middle such that if he could not come within, he could not grab the objective without charging me, essentially. So Jay decided to just back up and shoot. It does really expose my Knights. I'm exposed to Oberyn in the flank. And more shooting from here. It is currently 3-3. I'm just trying to make it a narrow loss. So we'll see how that goes. Round 3 or round 4? Round 4.
Going into round 4.
Round 4 coming up. End of round 4. What action happened? Well, the Knights did get punished by a lot of shooting and are down to last 3 wounds. I could not stay in the middle because he just has too much shooting and I'm vulnerable that I think he would kill me, so I had to retreat off the middle. I had hope that after taking that with the horse, I could just retreat and hold it, but he's just got too much firepower. Beric's unit ran away, did a little bit of chip damage to Oberyn. They hung out. I had the option to push forward and maybe get a shot from Sentinel, but I decided that I think I'm losing regardless because the Kingsmen died to tokens being piled up and they were poisoned and whatnot. I think I'm going to lose regardless, so my goal is, if I was playing in a tournament, to try and keep the score tight. So if I get off the objective and get some shots off, I might hurt them a little bit. I don't think 2 volleys kills them is the problem. And this way I might lose by hopefully 2 or 3 points only and call it a day. So that's the end of round 4. On to round 5. Of round 5. What happened? Oberyn came for the archers, killed a bunch of guys, but some healing brought them back. On the flank, I tried to do a tricky play where the score 2 for getting the enemy zone card was up, and I used the horse to maneuver, but I couldn't angle them straight this way because it would be very obvious I'm going for the enemy deployment zone, so I angled them where I could maybe shoot Jay. Jay then did the whole combo and came in front of the archers, which meant that I could not march into his zone, and then shot a lot of wounds off as well. The Knights went for a long bomb 6 to try and get some momentum going. They did not make the charge. And then Cunning Ploy brought them to my flank and shot me, and they got crippled. The game is 7-5. It's not like a horrible blowout, despite the bad start. So we'll see how the game ends. Hopefully we can keep it close. End of round 6, we cleared that pretty quick. What do you guys? Skyreach Bowman shot off the Knights. Jay went for the kill here and didn't kill them. Jay could have easily out-activated me. He was just being nice to me. He's going to win 10-6. If he contested this, he would have won 10-5, which would be a crush. Yeah, so it was a good game. I don't know. The real question is, do you take a 2-up charge if rolling a 1 means you lose the game? Rolling a 2
that means 17% of the time you lose the game.
That's true.
On one
right?
dice roll.
Because I really feel like if you roll a 1, I would just lose because I was going to get charged by Oberyn. There was really no way around it. But if I don't roll a 1, I flank the Skyreach Bowman. I go first next turn.
They probably die.
You know what I mean? What does charge you as in the flank? It's tough. It's tough. So I think I take the risk there. But it did cost me the loss here. Anyway, it was a good game. And maybe one more.